discovered a dead baby in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. I came out and I didn't know what to do.
Lexi, I told you about this.
But it
I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
scared. It was not crying or nothing.
What did you do to it?
Okay, stop right here.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I want to take a new route. So what I really love is these true crime and murder mystery stories. So I am going to be starting with one of those today. I'm no professional. I just know a lot of details about a lot of cases. So today what I'm going to be doing is my first true crime story, and I am going to be starting with the story of 19-year-old Alexee Trevizo from Artesia, New Mexico. But along with that, I am going to be getting ready for the Beyonce Renaissance tour as well. So I'm going to be doing my hair, makeup, getting dressed while I talk about this story that's been eating me up. I do want to say, as I start doing these murder mystery stories, that they can get very graphic. If you have children, younger audiences, or are sensitive and get triggered to violence, psychological triggers, and things like that, then I would advise you to probably not watch this video. This is just to spread awareness and to talk about this one's a current event, but in the future I will be talking about other cases that may not be so current and they can be pretty graphic. So I just want to get that disclosure before I even start this video. If you're not already, please make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like, comment. I'm gonna ask a couple questions about opinions during this video because there are a lot of things to be questioned and a lot of things to have an opinion about. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into it. So first, I am going to start with a little bit of what I could find out about a background about Alexee. So there isn't too much. She is 19 years old. Originally, Alexee moved from Texas with her mom and her two siblings in 2013. According to Alexee's mother, she was in an abusive relationship with Alexee's father. And yeah, that's all the information that I have found about their past. A little bit more about Alexee. Alexee Trevizo was born November 25th of 2003, making her 19 years old in high school at the time of this crime. According to the internet and the research that I've done, the school didn't want to keep her back. Her mom, who's a very interesting character, is the reason that Alexee was kept back, and she's 19 in high school. So on January 27th of 2023, 19-year-old Alexee Trevizo arrived with her mother at Artesia General Hospital in Artesia, New Mexico, complaining of back pain. After arriving at the hospital around 1:40 a.m., Alexee went to the bathroom. After a few minutes, Rosa went to check on her daughter, and Alexee told her mom everything was fine and, she'd be out in a minute. So about 15 minutes later, a nurse checked on her. Pretty much, Alexee just told the doctors that she's having trouble using the bathroom. So they gave her some more time. So the nurses said that they were suspicious of the sounds that they heard from the bathroom. So for one, she was in there for about 20 minutes. So she got there, they asked her, the general questions. You come in with stomach pains as a young woman, especially a young teen woman who's almost 20. And also, she had a boyfriend of 2 years. But Alexee claimed that she was a virgin. She never had sex. There's no reason she should be pregnant, so that was kind of like ruled out. But they still did test the towel roller going, and they also kept hearing the toilet flushing. The nurses also stated that the water from the sink was constantly running as well during that time. The hospital staff gets extremely worried after about 20 minutes. I think too, and I will check, that by this point the nurses knew that Alexee was indeed pregnant due to a positive pregnancy test, and I believe, we'll fact check it as well, that they already did the urinalysis, but they did blood work since she kept insisting that she was not pregnant.
Yeah. And then I went in, because at this point we had already received the positive pregnancy lab test.
When was that?
I couldn't tell you the exact time, but I know prior to that, we got a positive pregnancy test on her.
Okay, prior to the bowel movement, did you tell her that y'all got a positive?
No, the doc hadn't been in there to tell her yet.
So after 20 minutes, they knocked on the door and they told Alexee, okay, if you don't come out, we're coming in. When they said that, Alexee just walked out. And when she came out of the bathroom, there was like a bloody scene. Blood all over the walls. There was blood splatter on the walls, blood all over the floor. And it looked like paper towels or something had been used to try to clean up the mess. When Alexee walked out, she just said that she was on her period. And
What happened is I'm on my period, what she said. And she
went back to her room in the hospital and like nothing happened. It's also stated that on the way back to the hospital room, there was blood dripping from in between Alexee's legs. So the nurses state that their first priority, of course, is to make sure that Alexee is okay. Since she's bleeding from between her legs, they think that, you know, anything could have happened. She could have just had a miscarriage inside of the bathroom, but there's no baby. So they called the housekeeping to come and clean up the bathroom. As they're in the room treating and talking to Alexee, she wouldn't let them touch her, wouldn't let them get near her really. She was sitting in the bed with her mom in the room. Housekeeper, she goes in the bathroom to clean up the mess behind Alexee. When she goes in the bathroom, she picks up the trash bin and she realizes that it's heavier than normal, like really heavy compared to normal. Inside of the bin, there was a clean trash bag. She took that clean trash bag out and checked in there, and there was a deceased baby inside of a bag. The housekeeper says she didn't see the baby's face or anything, but she just saw the back of the baby's head, and it was blue and purple and, you know, black. So she screamed for help to tell them that there was a baby in the trash can. The housekeeper alerts the nurses, who then alert the police. And in the hospital, Alexee's in the bed and her mom is sitting there with her. The nurse tells them, we discovered a baby in the bathroom. Alexee starts crying and says, I'm sorry, he came out of me and I didn't know what to do. Rosa says, oh my gosh, and she also stated, Lexi, I told you about this. I just asked you, baby, tell me the truth. To this, Alexee replies, I was scared. Alexee also says it was not crying or nothing. Rosa asks, what did you do to it? The nurse stops the conversation, stating that the number one priority right now is that Alexee just gave birth and is bleeding significantly, and they need to check for the placenta. She also let them know that the police will be involved and an autopsy. Alexee just insisted that it was not crying when it came out. When Alexee first got to the hospital, she and her mother adamantly denied the possibility of pregnancy when they asked. The autopsy revealed that the baby was suffocated. Staff reported that the bag was suctioned to the face, and the autopsy reported air in the baby's lungs. Hospital staff said that they knew and confirmed with Alexee that she was pregnant before she went to the bathroom. When asked what happened when she exited the bathroom, she said nothing, that she was on her period. Since this case has happened, Alexee has also filed a wrongful death suit, being that when she got there complaining of back pain, the nurses administered her morphine. To be said that morphine can have some effects on her fetus when administered to the mother while she's pregnant. I will come back with some more facts and things later on, but that was just the base story of what I got so far, and this is still an ongoing case since it just happened in January of 2023. So next I'm going to get into what my opinions are about Alexee, her mother, and the whole situation. So when I first saw the case, it was just immediately off the top, it doesn't make any sense to me how someone can kill a baby and then put it inside of a bag and then act like they didn't know what to do. So the hospital and even the staff pointed out that they were so upset, extremely upset, by the fact that Alexee didn't even give them a chance to help the baby, even if she didn't want it. There are places called safe havens, and if I'm not mistaken, and I will find the sign or a picture, but there are places where if you ever feel like you cannot take care of your child, or you do not want this child, besides, you know, getting an abortion or, you know, something like that, if you have a child and for some reason you cannot take care of this child and do not want to get in trouble for abandonment, you can take the child to these safe places. And the hospital, Artesia General Hospital, was one of those places. So even before I knew that, I already felt like it's unacceptable. Second of all, the biggest issue with this case is that Alexee's mother, Rosa, even though Alexee is an adult, Alexee's mother, Rosa, seems to have some type of weird hold over Alexee. So it seems, but we can't say that, because to me, Alexee is an adult. She's 19. She's old enough to know right from wrong in my mind. However, it is something about the way that Rosa says that she had no clue that Alexee was pregnant. When it comes to Alexee being pregnant, she was not one of those people who at the beginning, I'm like, you know, some people do get pregnant and they can't tell, or their stomachs don't show, or they're really, really, really small. So she did not just have a miscarriage early on. It was confirmed that the baby was full term. So this was a full term 9-month baby. And then when I saw the videos of her cheering, because she cheered the entire time, had also cheered for 4 hours, or had cheer practice for 4 hours the day that she went into labor. She cheered the entire time, and she's not one of those people who is pregnant and not showing. It was so obvious that she was pregnant. It wasn't hidden. It wasn't a small belly. It wasn't one of those I didn't know I was pregnant episodes. Everyone knew that she was pregnant. Even her classmates online and on TikTok have stated that they know that she was pregnant. She knew that she was pregnant. And there's also rumors that she had also let her friends know what she was going to name the baby. She told her friends that she was going to name the baby Alex. So who's the father? So Alexee's 19. The father is Alexee's boyfriend of 2 years, who was a minor at the point of it. His name's Dylan. I don't know his last name. But at the time of this, Dylan was 17 years old. Alexee was 19 years old. They've been together for 2 years. She's been claiming that she's not sexually active, and her mother is claiming that she was a virgin too. And they're saying that even though they're in this relationship, his mother and father did not know that she was pregnant. Her mother and stepfather, who was also at the hospital, did not know. Also at the hospital, no one showed any type of remorse or asked any questions about the baby or what's going on. No one, except for the stepfather, who did shed a couple of tears.
That's why he'll be going up north.
But he didn't, I mean, to me, he didn't seem significantly bothered either, or it just didn't seem like anyone was shocked. Even if they weren't shocked, Dylan, who claims he didn't know anything about the child, didn't know she was pregnant, Dylan still proceeded to go to prom with her. Alexee did not go to jail for doing this initially. So between January and May, Alexee was not able to cheer, but she was allowed to go to prom, and she was not allowed to go to her graduation ceremony because things went viral and everyone found out that she goes to their school and they didn't want that type of attention. But as I stated, in the meantime, everyone knew that Alexee was pregnant. Alexee pretended like, well, I'm going to show you the videos, because it's like, that's an opinion, because everyone clearly keeps saying that they didn't know. I don't know what they know, but I just know common sense says that this is a baby inside of a belly. So there's something so weird to me about the mother pretending that she doesn't know what's going on, and also enabling a lot of things. There was a time later where charges were finally pressed against Alexee for tampering with evidence, and the police came to her home to pick her up. And I will also insert the clip of this interaction. During this interaction, Rosa, Alexee's mom, was having a fit, as if you did not know that your child killed your grandchild. She had a fit. She's asking them, what are you here for? What do you want them for? And then they told her tampering with evidence, and her reactions like, tampering with evidence? As if throwing a baby inside of a bag and trying to hide it is not tampering with a crime and evidence of it.
I understand that,
Right.
Detective Gonzalez.
Right.
What is she under arrest for?
She has warrant for arrest. Okay?
For what?
That's all I'm going to tell you. Okay?
What do you mean that's all you're going to tell me?
I mean, she's over the age of 18.
I understand that, but I have a right to know as well.
We'll tell you that, but we
Okay,
need
then
the
let me know
cooperation.
now.
We need the cooperation.
Let me know now. I'm giving you the cooperation. I told you answer my question. What is she under arrest for? Tell me.
Homicide. Open count of homicide. And tampering with evidence.
Tampering with evidence?
Yes.
At the hospital?
What's your name?
Alexee.
Okay. What's the last 4 of your social?
She don't even know it.
Alexee, do you know your date of birth?
Yes.
Okay.
What is it?
11/25 birthday.
And not only that, y'all were outside the door for about 20 minutes waiting while she tampered with the evidence. So you know what's going on. Not to mention the way she ran into the bathroom with her hand holding her butt like that, saying she thought she had to poop. It looked like the baby was coming right out. So I believe that she went straight in there and had the baby immediately and then spent that time cleaning up. The nurses also stated that the blood splatter on the wall and the looks of the umbilical cord looked as if she had ripped it apart with her bare hands and tore it to shreds. And that's probably how the blood splatter got on that wall inside of the bathroom. So now Alexee has this lawyer who is defending her, and he states that Alexee had no clue that she was pregnant, and she probably lost the baby due to the malpractices of the hospital for giving her morphine. And that's what we're going to trial with.
I think it's pretty outrageous, actually. She's in great distress because she's in a jail and never been there before, and didn't do anything to deserve being there. I don't care what the state of New Mexico may allege. She's at the only facility where she can get help, and then this happens. I have serious problems with that. I have serious problems with the hospital care. I have serious problems with the records we're now getting out of that hospital. Because I don't think it's necessarily correct and honest. They did some lab work, but they gave the medication before and gave it anyway, and that's powerful painkiller. And I have serious problems with the charge in this case, which is first-degree murder. And you can bet your life we're going to defend this tenaciously. She just lost a son. She just lost a child. Well, I mean, come on, there's got to be some common human decency here.
One thing that Alexee's friend stated is that she had started wearing really baggy clothes and pants and shirts and stuff, and even when she arrived at the hospital that night, she arrived in a really baggy sweatshirt, and she was super standoffish. Anytime the nurses tried to come near her to assess her, she wouldn't really let them touch her. And again, it's graphic, so if you don't like graphic stuff, you might want to go. But Alexee's literally sitting here, and as they're talking to her and the police and them are talking to her and asking her questions, she's like sitting in the bed and she's like digging like under the covers a little bit and pulling stuff out like this and doing like this and throwing it away. And I'm like, girl, you are tampering with evidence right in front of these people. But yeah, okay. One of the things I also want to check back in and keep emphasizing is that we keep talking about her boyfriend and just assuming that he was the father, and it was just said, which was one thing that I didn't like, even by the parents, like from that night in the hospital, they just sound like they kind of assumed, oh yeah, he's the dad and he's a minor. Like, are they going to do a DNA test, or was one done to make sure that he is the father? He was a child. Is that weird, or would other moms feel like that too? Like, there's no way I would have just came in, first of all, and just been cool. Like, you should see how, I'm going to show y'all, but how cool and calm and collected even his parents were.
Mother?
I'm mom.
So you'd be
I'm
the
her mom.
you'd be the descendant's grandmother.
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
So that's her boyfriend.
Mr. Boyfriend, do you have a driver's license? No. And is the address on you current? On the driver's license? Because determining what all my does, if she's still in medical, and they do release the infant back, it'll have to be released to somebody. That'll be up to all my who they determine next of kin is. Maybe the parents, but maybe you, okay? So that's where we can get everyone's information. How long have you all been together?
Almost 2 years.
2 years? Okay. So I'm not trying to be rude, but you are more than likely would be the father? Okay.
And if you just told me that my son, I didn't know that his girlfriend was pregnant, this baby came out of nowhere, and you're telling me that my 17-year-old child is the father of a child that we didn't even know about, and just because he has a girlfriend who's obviously a liar, like, unless you're married, like, you're obviously a liar because you're not a virgin, you're very pregnant, and this baby is very far along, and there's no way that you had no clue that you were pregnant. I wouldn't just be listening to her and assuming like, oh, this is my son's baby and I just lost my grandchild. Like, I would need some actual medical proof that this is my grandbaby. Now, as I stated, I was going to touch back on Rosa later on. So there's this humongous belly that you claim that you do not see that is clearly visible on all of her cheerleading tapes. And then she has back pains. So when they talk to her inside of the hospital, there is also a recording of this. Rosa said that she thought that the back pain could be coming from the fact that Alexee was born. Basically, it sounds like with a spinal defect, where her spine was bent, or she had a lot of back pain and hip pain. So that's what her mom claims that she thought was going on again when they came to the hospital.
So what did she come here for?
She told me she had back pain. She was born with like her, I don't know, it was like crooked.
Her spine?
Okay, because my ex-husband, he hit me. He beat me whenever I was pregnant with her. So she was early. So she had some problems with her hips. Like, I always had to take her to chiropractor to get adjusted.
Also, just the experience of when the police came to pick her up, she acted completely confused. Like, she didn't know that her daughter had killed her own child a couple of months ago inside of the hospital. She just acted so confused. When Alexee first said something, she also said that she was scared. And when her mom found out, if you listen to the way she talked, there wasn't any real questions about the baby or what's going on. It's kind of like when they said we found the baby in the bathroom, it's just like no one asks the condition of the baby, no one asks how the baby's doing, no one asks if the baby is living, if they're working on it, is the baby okay. She immediately began talking to Alexee like a 10-year-old child who stole from the store, or, you know, like stole a Barbie doll or something. She was like, do you know what happens to the girls who get in trouble for doing this to their babies? Alexee, we talked about this. Like, do you see what happens to the girls?
We discovered a dead baby in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. He came out at me and I didn't know what to do.
Alexee, I told you about this.
But
I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
Scared. It was not crying or nothing. What did you do to it?
Okay, stop right here.
Stop. Where did you put the baby at? Tell me the truth. Where did you put the baby at?
517-836-460.
That came out in the toilet? You put it in the bag?
Yes.
In what bag? Why did you say anything to us? Do you want to get in trouble for this now?
And here's my thing about emphasizing that, yes, she was in high school. She was a senior in high school. I don't even think that you should talk to a regular senior that way, but it was like she's in trouble like a 5-year-old. It wasn't a serious tone, nor was it a comforting tone. It was just like reprimanding, but it also sounded very fake and very put on to me. Maybe because of my preconceived notion that there is no way she did not know that this girl was pregnant. I believe she was the one to also mention the boyfriend, which I did not like. She called the parents to let them know what was going on of the boyfriend, which I already said how I feel about that. I feel like he was 17 years old in high school, so even if he was called to the hospital, because you know that's the automatic suspicion, is that like, oh, you're the dad because this is who our boyfriend is. I hope that there was still some sort of checking to make sure that he is biologically the father of this child, because he was a minor. Like, I hope that his parents didn't let it fly, that you just said this is his baby and, you know, go from there, because she's lying about so much already that as a mom, especially in this situation, still want to check and make sure that before all this trauma and things are gone through like further than they have to be, that this is his child.
Okay. So I'm not trying to be rude, but you are more than likely would be the father? Okay.
When being like talked to by the investigators, I feel like Rosa was talking like pretty lightly. Like,
You know, I honestly didn't know she was pregnant.
she was very overbearing. She was super overbearing when the nurse was like, I have to get your permission, and they were like, oh, but she's 19. And the mom, you know, even when they came to talk to her at the house that day and the mom was being really overbearing, it was like, oh, well, you can't talk to her. She also told Alexee and advised Dylan not to speak to the officers as well, because when they went to try to talk to them at school, both of them ignored them.
Oh yeah, that is her. She's here. Yeah.
Miss Treviso, you're an adult. That's Alexee Treviso leaving.
Hi, Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, sir.
Hi, this is Detective Gonzalez, Artesia Police Department.
Who is it?
Detective Gonzalez, Artesia Police Department.
Yes, sir.
Hi. I'm calling you today because I tried to get a hold of Alexee at school.
Why would you go to school? Why wouldn't you come here to my house?
Well, because you told me that I need to speak with a lawyer before you talk to me. But I need to hear that from Alexee first. Would she be willing to just tell me that in person at your house?
Okay, why? What? Yeah, listen, I'll let her tell you.
I need to hear it I have to be in person, man, so I know it's her.
Hello?
Hello? Hi, this is Detective Gonzalez. Hi, is this Alexee?
Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. I just need to meet you in person. I know your mom told me for you that you'd only talk with a lawyer present. I just need to hear that in person, okay?
Oh, I will only talk with the lawyer present.
I just have to hear that in person, okay? When would be a good time to meet you to tell me that in person?
You can come to my house right now.
Okay, that'll work.
Heads
I'll head
right
that
to
way
her
then.
house, posting the
So, yeah, Dylan, I guess, I don't know at this point if Dylan was 18 or not, but Alexee's been 19 the whole time. Her mom told her not to communicate with those officers, so she didn't talk to the officers ever. And then when they came to the house to speak to her at the house, because they called and got permission pretty much one day, and she's like, okay, well, you can talk to her at the house. So when they came to talk to her at the house, the mom was super overbearing. She just kept jumping in, and they had to repeatedly remind her that Alexee is not a minor. Like, we don't have to speak to you to speak to Alexee. And it's like she didn't get it. As of right now, what's going on with this case, and I will keep you updated, is we're at the point where Alexee and her team are attempting to blame it on the hospital and say that it's the hospital's fault for malpractice, that Alexee was caused to have a miscarriage due to malpractice by the hospital. I will keep you updated on this case as well. Let me finish my makeup real quick and show you my outfit. Anywho, thank you so much for being a part of my first true crime story. I hope I did well. I hope I'll do better and gain better, and I hope I've gained maybe some subscribers. I'm gonna try to do this every week. Next week, we're going to be talking about, I think I want to do Lake Lenoir in Georgia. That's what I want to do next week. So hold on. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Tell me what you think. Do you think Alexee and her mom didn't know? Do you think she should be charged with murder? Make sure you follow me on all social media and tune in next week. Bye-bye.
You know, I didn't know. I honestly didn't know she was pregnant. I didn't know. I just thought, see, I told you about this.
Second one is 512. Wait for the second one. Second one is 512. Wait for the second one. Second one is 512.
All right.
thank you for being such a good star.
All right. I'll leave y'all to it.